Right, good morning everyone. It is finally Friday, or at least it is for me. Don't know what day it will be when you're watching this, but either way, that day will be a great day. So today is chest and back. It's not normally chest and back for me on a Friday, but because of, like I said in the previous video, me swapping around my plans to be pushed back a day because of uni, just so happens that Friday is chest and back and Sunday will be arms. So it's gutting, you know. I wanted to do arms on Friday. I love Friday arms, but just you got to cope, I suppose. I suppose I technically could do arms on Fridays and do chest and back on Sundays, but then I've got chest, you know, the next day, and my chest will just be ruined from chest and back. So maybe it's not a good idea. So yeah, I'll stick with chest and back. So today's a pretty simple day. I'll do 3 chest exercises. Don't know why I'm putting up one finger. 3 chest exercises and then 3 back exercises, starting with chest, and then we'll be done. I might do a little bit of shoulders, as in medial delts, as in lateral raises, so could always do that at the end depending on how I guess how tired I am. But it's always worth squeezing in a little bit of lateral raise work. That's what I usually do on my push days and my arm days, because I do shoulders with arms. So chances are I will probably still do some shoulders today, but we'll play it by ear. I have to shoot off to uni at 11:15, and it's currently 10:15, and I'm not quite at the gym yet, so I will either have to race it to uni and not finish so early, or finish early and you know, hope that the session is complete. But like I said, we'll play it by ear. Also, uni wise, if you're ever interested, I will always talk about uni if I've got uni that day. So I've got 2 practicals today. One of them is, well, they'll, you know, one after each other without a break, which will be a little bit tiring, but the first one, I believe, is applied exercise physiology, which is always about, well, at least for the minute, for the start of the semester, is always about heart rate zones and heart rate maxes, working at maximal effort and sub-maximal effort. Just for our lab report we're doing, so it's sort of helping us with that. And then the principles of training practical, which is the second one, is actually going to be hopefully quite fun, in that it's an analysis session for a front or back squat. So it's very gym related, which is, you know, ideal, because that's also helping us for our assignment later on in this semester. That is just a weightlifting assessment. It's analysing and performing a barbell bench press. No, can't remember. No, I think it's back squat. Ah, yes, that's it. You pick either front or back squat, and then you have another analysis on either conventional deadlift or RDL. So it'll be interesting to see which one I prefer at the point of the assessment, because you've got to do it in person and they analyse you and how you coach someone to do it, or teach someone to do it, I suppose. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see what the like the little nuggets are for teaching it, I suppose, and I'll see which one I find easiest, I guess. So I've already warmed up, starting with a plate loaded press. Warmed up with, I think it was 40, so 20 each side. I can't remember if I did 70 last session or 60, but either way it was too easy, so I'm going to try 80 and just assume it was 70 I did last week. As soon as I've done a couple reps I'll be able to feel whether it's too heavy or not, but we'll see how it feels, and then if it's too heavy we'll drop it. That was actually better than I thought. So I've got 10 with one like half rep, which is quite good. And I think I did relatively okay when it came to controlling it on the eccentric, so chuffed with that. Right, like I said, trying to keep this short but sweet today. Moving on to my favourite exercise for chest, and probably maybe almost my favourite exercise overall across the board. Pushing 21.6 kilos. I think that's too light. As with most things, I'll see how it goes and then up it if it's above my rep range, or at least if I'm failing above my rep range. Way too light. I could feel it before I even picked it up. I'll drop it to 26. So I've dropped it 2 pins. It was just way too light. It was like, usually it's a struggle to get it onto my chest. That wasn't. Alright, so that was 9.5 reps. I think that's an improvement by 1 or 2 reps. Well, at least for the first set. I'm hoping I've got time to rest long enough, so I should be able to do the same amount of reps on the next set, but I think out of preference, I'd rather completely cut out another exercise if it means I can rest for long enough to do a proper effective next set on the same exercise, if you know what I mean. So just to give an example, I'd rather rest for 4 or 5 minutes now, do another good set on this, than rest for 1 or 2 minutes, have a shit set, just so I can move on to the next exercise. So if my resting takes too long for me to do the next exercise, I won't do it if it means I've got a good set out of this one. I think nowadays a lot more people are starting to understand why you need longer rest. Like, unless you're training for cardio or muscular endurance, let's say, you need longer rest. There's scientific literature that proves longer rest results in better hypertrophic gain. So if you're sat there rushing your rest periods just to get another set in, what's the point? Because you're getting more gains by resting for longer. I just hope most people understand that by now. Don't get me wrong, I was one of the people that thought, you know, let's time my rest period, give myself 2 minutes and get back into it. But now, I give myself as long as I need. If I don't feel recovered, I don't do it. I just wait until I'm not out of breath, my cardiovascular system's fully recovered, and just, you know, you're not really waiting for your muscles to recover because that's not what you want, but you don't want to be out of breath doing your next set because there's no way you'll get the same amount of exertion or output into the next set if you're out of breath. It's just not possible. So bottom line is just rest for as long as you need. Don't rush it. Obviously, if you're tight for time, you've got to weigh up the options, like, is it really worth rushing your rest just to move on to the next exercise, like I was on about a minute ago? I don't think it is. I think you're better off just resting for a long amount of time and getting a better next set out of the same exercise. That's what I think anyway. Had about 4 minutes rest, so I feel fine. Right, so that was, I think, 6 or 7, and then 1 half rep and 1 attempted rep, but it didn't go anywhere, so relatively happy with that. I think it's as expected to get less reps the second set, but if there's a way to rectify it, I'd love to know how, because it sort of throws me off a bit in terms of where I think I'm at progression-wise. So, you know, it's a working curve. No, learning curve, that's the one. Yeah, it's a learning curve. Just to quickly note, because my rest took so long, I didn't end up doing the barbell bench press because I didn't have enough time. So if you're wondering why I didn't do 3 exercises, even though I said I would, that's why. No, you're all right. It's all right. Bless that guy. Trying to not get in my video. I respect it, but never expect it, because you can't ask people to not get in your video, can you? It doesn't really bother me either way. And even if you get in the way of me doing the exercise or doing my set, it doesn't really make a difference, because chances are I'm never showing the whole set. I'll either show the start or the end, or both. But for the sake of, you know, half a second blocking the clip, it's not a big deal. Anyway, moving on to back. I'm going to do 1 set of lat focused rows and 1 set of upper back focused rows. If you saw my pool day video, you'll see I did this then as well. It's just a good staple to have, I think. Like, it covers both parts of your back. And then the next exercise or 2, you can sort of pick based on your lacking muscle group, because you've already covered your whole back. So 45 degrees is the shoulder angle you want for rear delts, and 90 degrees is for like traps and rhomboids, so I do 90 degrees on a seated row. Obviously rear delts still get worked, but they're just not biased. Well, I have a slight feeling that was too light. Oh, Jesus. The only hard thing with bulking is, if you're bulking hard like I am, the weight you're moving skyrockets, so it's hard to track it properly, especially if it's changing every workout. But you can only do your best, really, and that's what I'm doing. I think we'll just try some squeeze reps on here. Add an incremental plate just to make it a little bit harder. And like I said, we'll do some squeeze reps, about 8, just to keep the blood flowing a little bit. All right, 8 squeezed reps, more if I can. Yeah, that was solid. 8 was about right. And that was my final set. My back and chest is absolutely toast right now. And that's only from 2 exercises for chest and 2 exercises for back. So, chuffed with that. Right, so I am finished for the day. Chest and back, as I said, was solid. I'm pretty content with the intensity I managed to put out. Although it was only 2 exercises for each muscle group, they were like good sets and good reps, so that's what you can really ask for. So hope everyone enjoys their weekend, and I will catch you next week for my arm day in a bit.